welcome back to my YOUniverse. It is so lovely to have you back here. My name is Belinda. I'm a holistic health counselor and well-being coach. And today we're talking about a very important topic, which is taking breaks. Yes. You know what? Let's take a break together right now. If you can, close your eyes. If you can't, keep them open, but make sure to have a moment where you get super focused, super centered, and take the deepest breath with me that you took so far today. Breathing in, breathing out. Yes, sometimes it needs just a second to have a moment of calm. Sometimes it just needs this one breath that brings you back, that refuels you a little bit at least. You know, I wanted to talk to you about that important topic because it's also a topic that I don't only see with my clients very often, but I see with myself. You know, if you do something that you really, really love, that you really pour your heart into, where you really want to perform well, then it is very natural and I think also very beautiful that you feel like, I'm going all in. Do it. Go for it. But do it in a healthy way or in the healthiest possible way. So before we dive into that topic, I would like to ask you to show me some love. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, to like the video at the end if you liked it, and we can ground, grow, and feel good together. All right, let's dive in. Taking regular breaks in your day doesn't have to look like half an hour or an hour or whatever. As you've seen right now, it can be very simple, like taking a deep breath. Do it ideally somewhere in the fresh air. Maybe you can open up a window, or you can really like step outside and have a moment to yourself where you can just take a few deep breaths. Sometimes we're really, 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 really stressed and full of things we need to do. So it might be just this one really, really deep breath that you take intentionally, where you can close your eyes for a moment and where you can really be in the moment and with yourself. Obviously, there is ways where you can take even a little bit like longer, nicer breaks. If that's not every day, make sure you can try at least to implement them a few times a week. So that you plan time outdoors, that you plan time in the woods. Nature is giving you so much. Go to a body of water, if it's the beach or if it's a lake or if it's a river. I think a river can also be something very beautiful that shows us the flow of life, that things just flow and go and go, and it's every second actually is a new moment, right? So I always love, as you probably know by now, to compare nature with our lives, and I think there is no better way to get energy and breaks in our daily lives than going out, being in nature, spending time outside, outdoors, and really taking a moment. And I think that's also the very important thing, taking a moment whilst you are outdoors where you really have a moment for yourself, where you really focus on yourself and where you are actually present. So if you are spending time outdoors already, make sure if you also have some like really mindful moments there. If you're listening to music whilst you're on a walk, do you really listen to the music? Or do you really watch nature? Or do you really feel how your body feels while you're walking? Like take a moment in whatever you do. Maybe you're playing basketball, maybe you're out with your bicycle and you really like that. Maybe you're walking your dog. Like whatever you do, whatever it might be, all of those things, actions, activities are valid, are amazing if you do them outside. Take a moment where you can be mindful of the moment, where you check in and really have a look at how you're feeling today. What is it that you need? And how can you really like take this moment to refuel for the rest of the day? So this is for sure one very nice thing to do. But there is another very important thing that we often, I think it's probably the thing that we cut off most often. That's sleep, right? Please don't do that. Please don't compromise on your sleep. Believe me, this is the most important thing we need on a regular basis to bring our bodies back to their full potential. At night, so many processes happen in our bodies, in our brains, in our like even mental state, like things that we process during sleep, when we dream, or just spending time recovering, rejuvenating, refueling, and repairing things in our bodies, right? And please make sure that you prioritize sleep, that you make sure that once you know how many hours you need for yourself, that you have those 7, 8, or 9 hours each and every night. People make fun of me, you know. I am the one in our friends group who is always early in bed, and sometimes I'm like the super lame one who already wants to go home, or like who always prioritizes sleep, feels like I'm like a granny or whatever. But you know what? It's so worth it. It's worth it. Of course, there is exceptions. There is sometimes where you get home later. But you know what? Even then, try to make sure you still get your usual 7, 8. For me, it's 7 hours. I need my minimum 7 hours. So if I get to bed an hour later, I make sure that I can sleep an hour longer. If that's not possible, okay, you're not gonna die because you did that one time, but make sure that's the exception, and make sure that most of the time you actually bring the 7 or 8 or 9 hours that you're used to in each and every night. This is a game changer. I think another point that's very important when we talk about taking breaks is if you have time off, and I have to laugh because I am the person, you know, I am guilty of all those things, you know. If I'm in flow, I don't take my breaks. Oftentimes I remind myself because I am a very mindful person, so I realize if I'm not taking enough breaks. So if that happens to me after like I had like a full day of like back-to-back work, then at least in the evening when I do the check-in with myself, I realize, wow, well, today you didn't really take any breaks. Like tomorrow I'll do it better, right? So having this like daily check-in, again, like I mentioned that so many times, is so important, because in those moments is it where you realize such things, right? If you go through your day and you realize, oh my God, today just flew by and I didn't even have the time to eat or take a break or whatever it was, or maybe you did stress eat and you had a lot of chocolates or other sweets. So like having a moment to reflect on the day once you go to bed, or like before you go to bed in the evening, is so important, because now you're having the awareness of those things and you can make it better the next day. So obviously we sometimes have very stressful seasons in our lives, and we're like absolutely in that, and then maybe we do take breaks, but when we take the break, we're not 100% chilling. We're still thinking about the other thing, right? We're still kind of like trying to figure stuff out, even if it's our day off. We're still kind of doing things, even if it's our day off. And you know, that's life. Sometimes we have such seasons. I just think it's always a great reminder to still take your breaks. In those seasons, it's even more important to get a massage, to take your break, to take the day off that you need, to have a change of scenery and go somewhere else, to see your friends and have just fun and don't think about work or school or whatever it is you need to accomplish, right? Then it is even more important, and I know what I'm talking about because it also happens to me, you know? Maybe 70% of the time I manage it well. I'm fine, I realize if I didn't take a break, I make it better the next day, I adjust, all that. And then there is seasons in your life where you maybe also, because of the stressful time, you're a little bit, you have a lower bala, we would say in Ayurveda, so your immune system is not as strong as it usually would be. So that makes it already easier for you to get sick, right? So that's what I always say. Our bodies would always show us when it's time to take a break. Our bodies would always show us when something's off. We get a headache, we're like a little bit shaky maybe. You know yourself best. So make sure you observe. And that's what we actually practice in meditation, right? Observe yourself. If you can observe things that are suddenly different, that are suddenly weird, that you feel like, that's usually not the case, that's usually not me, that's not very common for me. Oh, give it a thought. Why would that be? Why could that be? What did I change? What did I forget? Give yourself time. And this is also why breaks are important, to reflect on yourself, right? So a break can have different ways to conduct it. It can be very, very short and several times a day, or it can be a little bit longer, maybe half an hour a day, maybe an hour a day, maybe a full day every now and then, or half a day where you can take time off for yourself. But take them. I had to learn the lesson myself. I've been feeling unwell for like 3 weeks now. I've been sick, I had the flu, like it didn't really go away, and I was like, And it wasn't until my body told me, you know what, girl, rest now. My body was screaming at me, and yeah, then we don't have another choice, right? We rest. And please listen to your body latest at that moment, and don't be like, oh, but I have all that work and I need to do this and that. You're just gonna prolong the process that your body needs to become healthy again. So what did I do? Cut off the work and I rested. I slept a lot. I ate healthy. I gave my body some extra vitamins. I made sure that I can recover. And well, now that's why I found it very important to share again, because I know how fast it happens. I know how easy it is to get into a season where maybe you do take breaks, maybe you do have a daily routine of checking in with yourself, but there's a lot of pressure on you that still kind of like affects you, right? So of course you kind of have to handle it, and your body has to like kind of like balance it out all the time. And if your body has to balance it out for a long time, the body gets weak, the system gets weaker. So make sure you prioritize your breaks, and in case that you should get sick, you should need a longer period of rest and your body asks for it, let it heal. Okay? So that's it from my side for today. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and see you very soon.